I've done this. I know this road. I just go forward. If I keep going forward enough, there'll be an airport.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Actor Behind the Voice. For anyone who grew up in the 90s and watched Guts on Nickelodeon, you would already be familiar with Moira as the co-host and referee Mo. But since then, Moira hasn't stopped working in voiceover with roles in all your best-loved shows such as Hey Arnold, The Wild Thornberrys, Johnny Bravo, and What's New Scooby-Doo. Since our work together in LA Theatre Works' production of A Room with a View, darling, I have also discovered that we both attended Central School of Speech and Drama. We're both in Starfield, Remnant 2, and Dune Awakening. So I never knew we worked in so many things together, but here we are.
Right.
But more recently, Moira is perhaps best known for breathing life into the role of herbology professor Mirabelle Garlick in Hogwarts Legacy. Ladies and gentlemen, Moira Quirk! Woo!
Hello. There.
There we go.
Is that me applaud? That's me sort of clapping for myself. So that's
In sign
wrong.
language. Perfect. Perfect for
it's
a
joyful.
podcast. Yeah. Well done. Thank
Yes.
you. Yes, for our listeners,
There we
Moira
go.
is signing, just in case.
I'm
Perfect.
always the appropriate medium.
Brilliant. Yes. It's for the accessibility issues, Moira will be signing that interview. Yeah, great. So Moira Quirk, if nothing else, it's just such a fun name to say. I shall be saying it a lot. Thank you so much for appearing on this Actor Behind the Voice so people can actually know whom you are. Very good to have you here. So I will kick off the podcast asking what I always ask all of our guests, which is, of course, how did you get started in voiceover?
Gosh, how did I get started in voiceover? I think the first thing I ever did was read some words. I was in Orlando, Florida. I was working for Nickelodeon, and someone said, "Oh, someone's doing a dictionary, and they'd like some people." And I would just
Someone's
go in and
doing a dictionary? What do you mean?
God, I don't even. It was just such a Florida thing to do. And I honestly probably haven't thought about that in like 25 years, but that was probably it. But I think when I first started really thinking about voiceover was when I got to Los Angeles, and which was part of the reason, because I had such a love for animation. I'd grown up with sort of, it was the reruns, but all the Hanna-Barbera. All the Hanna-Barbera stuff, and I loved it.
Right.
Probably loved Hanna-Barbera more than I loved Looney Tunes, which is probably... I mean, I enjoyed that too.
Yeah, I mean, Frank Welker and...
Yeah, but there was just
Casey
something
Kasem.
kind of 60s and bonkers about it. There was a kind of,
Yeah, it was more sitcom-y, I think. Hanna-Barbera leaned into let's make the TV that adults like, and let's make it accessible to children. So things like Top Cat and the Flintstones and the Jetsons. It was very
Hair Bear
sitcom-y.
Bunch.
Yeah.
Who would do the Hair Bear Bunch now? That was weird. And Hong Kong Phooey.
Was.
I mean, and just...
Yeah, that's right. My dad always referenced Hong Kong Phooey. He loved that show.
Because everybody loves Scatman Crothers. Everyone does. And if you don't, then probably you're a psychopath. I mean,
some people listening to this not knowing Scatman Crothers being like, what does that
there's
mean?
not knowing, but there's actively disliking him.
I see. Okay.
My daughter just showed me a film clip, and I went, "Oh my God, there's Scatman Crothers," which was an excellent part of it. But it's hard to say that there's something superior to Scatman Crothers, but it was a horror film, and it involved giant rats, and I think it was very budget problematic, and so they put rat costumes on dachshunds.
Rat costumes on dachshunds.
So they were giant rats. Yes. And you will have to Google it, and I think you can find it on
I already
YouTube.
Googled Scatman Crothers. What am I
Yeah,
Googling
sorry,
now?
I didn't mean to jump in here. Horror movie Dachshunds, giant rats.
I'm excited.
Because when all
Rat.
the rats run through the hallway and it's meant to be horrifying, but they're all moving like happy dachshunds.
Deadly Eyes, the 1982 horror film Deadly Eyes
Oh,
features
I think that's
dachshunds
it.
dressed as giant rats to portray the monstrous creatures in the movie. Images. They're
Oh,
all
and it,
they're all blocked out. It's like, no, don't look at it. Do you want to
but
view
it
this
is,
image anyway? Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, that's really funny. All right. Yeah, basically just
yeah,
Google that and that's okay.
Google
Yeah, oh,
that.
yeah, all
And
right.
I've given you something delightful. So
How did we
anyway,
go on this?
that is
What the
the
heck?
Scatman Crothers part of the So anyway, yes. So what got me in? And then I knew that to get into voiceover, I would have to do commercial first. So I went
Yeah.
to my classes, I made my commercial tape, I sent it in to ICM. They back pocketed me. I was there for an audition and I just walked in and it was Corey. I can't remember his last name now,
Hmm.
but I just walked in. I said, "Hello, you don't know me. I would very much like to do animation. Here's my tape." I think I'd done an animation one by then. Here's my tape. It was tape because
Oh yeah,
grandma
yeah,
here.
yeah. Oh, cassette. Yeah.
It was a cassette that I
Hmm.
twisted with a pencil.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
And I guess he listened to it and liked it. And then he called me and he goes, call Donna Grillo at Hanna-Barbera.
Mm.
They need somebody. You're going to do an audition over the phone. And I did. And I booked it. And I went to SAG. And
Wow.
I was a must hire. So I went down to SAG.
Yeah.
I paid up my money.
Yeah.
And there
What
it
was
was.
that role?
That was Jane Bonded. The name's Bonded. Jane Bonded. It
Oh,
was just
nice.
some silliness, yeah. And I
Oh.
got to work, yeah, and it was great. And it was when some really my first stuff was animation. I sort of jumped right into that, and it was
Oh,
when
that's
you
amazing.
still all recorded together in the same room.
I want to quickly jump on this because I remember it being top of my mind, especially when I was starting out as well. So you just kind of casually threw out, um, obviously, as we can tell, you are not a native Floridian, as we can tell by your speaking voice. So where are you from? And then how were you able to just go to America so easily?
I am from Rutland in
Yeah.
England, where I grew up. However, I went to America to visit my American grandmother. So I had that.
There you
Yes,
go.
yes, yes, yes. And was actually
Oh.
born here as well. American. I went to visit my American
Oh, you were
grandmother
born in
because I
America.
was begat of my American mother. Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. So
I
I've
see.
got all that going on.
You have
Yeah.
dual citizenship. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay, yep. That does make it slightly easy. Yep, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
for
if you were to ask me, how do you, I don't know.
you don't know, yeah, you're just born with it, baby. In the words of
Yeah.
Lady
I don't know.
Gaga, you were just born this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. That's cool. All
Yeah.
right, very good. And then okay, so you book that. Great,
Yeah.
amazing. And then it just kind of goes from there. You continue to do cartoons. Oh yes, the one I wanted to ask you about was you said it was in the room. Were you in the room with the Johnny Bravo,
Yes.
Mr. Jeff Bennett? Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yeah.
One of my like
Yeah.
voiceover legend icons in my life. Oh my God.
He
All
is a
right, what's
voiceover
what's it
legend
like working with
icon.
Jeff Bennett? Well, how is he?
He was fun and just top of his game, and and it was a good time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not interesting because it's
Yeah.
it was just a professional session that was fun, and yeah, he's great. I've
That's
worked with him a
awesome.
few times. Yeah,
I miss that they don't do it as much as they should now with the voiceover in the room. And one of the most glaring examples of that is Bob's Burgers. Like when Bob's Burgers first started and they were all in the same room and they were allowed to improvise and ad lib, and some of the best
yeah,
stuff in that show is just from them improvising. And The
yeah,
Simpsons was the same. As soon as they just went into doing in their own room and recording their own lines, it's just like it loses something. It loses something something.
yeah. I mean, you can have amazing directors who really make it work, but it it does take incredible directing.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, yeah, I guess it's just a more cost-effective way of doing it. And
Yeah.
movies work that way, so why not?
Yeah, it's a practical reason. I do understand that, but I think with like comedy, especially, um,
Oh, yeah. I
when you
mean,
need to play off each other.
just the idea sometimes of just walking into a session. Do you remember? I remember sitting one time and just going, this is just so insane as I was listening to the Skype music, which I always enjoyed,
Yeah,
blip, blop, blip,
that's
blop,
right.
blop,
Boop.
blip,
Hang on, if
blop.
I remember, yeah.
Do you
Boop,
remember it?
boop. I remember distinctly because for 2 years of my life, I had a long
Yeah.
distance relationship with my now wife, and it was
Yeah.
primarily on Skype. So it was beep, boop, 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 boop. Boop. It was like that. It was, yeah. Boop.
Yeah.
And it sounded like drops as well.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. So I just remember that and then some Canadian. There'd just be some random Canadian directing me in a dark booth, and then I'd drive back from Santa Monica, and I would just go, "Well, that's not great, is it?"
How very British. When did you go to Central?
I was there at the end of the 80s, the beginning of the 90s. So I was on
Mm.
the BA Hons course, which I
Oh.
believe is very, very different now. Yeah, there was a guy who contacted me who was writing a book about Central, and then we'll cover it. We'll be finished with that. Would you like? And I'd really like to. And I said, well, he wanted to interview me for anecdotes, etc. And I said, you can, but they won't be positive. And
Oh no.
no, yeah. I went to, in the middle of England, Melton Mowbray College of Further Education, and they had a drama
Yeah.
course,
Mm-hmm.
and we were up the fly tower. We learned everything. We learned, how to fix a cyclorama, how to do all of, get it up and down. We did mime. We did Is it bouffon? That's sort of French. I don't know.
Yeah.
We did our Shakespeare. We did our everything.
Yeah.
We did movement, dance. They brought in everybody for us to work with. And that was in a small market town in England, and it surpassed Central School
Mm.
in every way.
There you go. There you go. For anyone listening, thinking, especially Brits who always tend to
Yeah,
think that you have to go to drama school to like make anything happen or makes it.
yeah,
Yeah, here to say
no,
no, no,
yeah.
not
And
always. In
Jared
fact,
was
very
telling me
seldom.
as well. While I'm while we're doing that, I mean, I think Jared Harris told me, and he'd gone a few years before me, but he said the class after him actually sued Central for not preparing them in any way for the actual world of rework in film and television
Wow.
and theatre. I think for my class, which was in its very infancy of that sort of
Mm.
the BA Hons course,
Yeah.
I think they were just happy to take the university's money and just not take us very
Oh,
seriously.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bit of a shame. All right.
It
Well, fair
is
enough. Now
a
I see why.
shame. Yeah.
Now I see why you don't really
Yeah.
like to talk about it. I understand that now.
Yeah.
That makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. Well, then,
Yeah.
let's talk about some more, positive stuff and fun stuff. So, what are some of your like as you think back on your very varied and illustrious voiceover career? What are some standout roles in your mind that you think back fondly on? And you're like, God, that was so much fun, or like.
Oh, well, gosh, I would say that Professor Garlick was super fun. And also, I worked on that for probably 5 years. Some of
What
that
the
because
frick? What? Really?
Some of it because of COVID, that it sort of
Oh, of
upended
course.
everything. And it ended up in some ways being quite a bizarre job. I mean, I've done this work for a very long time now, so it's hard to sort of surprise me. But because I was supposed to do a lot of mocap
Yeah.
with that job. I was supposed to get myself in a suit, zip it up, run around and do some, some mocap magic as
Yeah.
in that game. But because of COVID, SAG was just like, well, that's not going to be safe. So instead, they went, yeah, it's not safe here. Safe as hell in Canada. So they got a bunch of Canadians to do all of the mocap. And
What?
Canada's really coming up in this podcast. And so what I had to do was then voice match. Well, not voice match. I had to match the flaps
Yeah.
of the Canadian lady who ran around. And at
What?
first, yeah, it was basically ADR at the
Yeah.
end. And so I'd gone down, I mean, I'd gone down about half a page of the lines, block one, block two.
Yeah.
And I went, will you play it back? And they played it back. And I went, oh God, that's not the character. That doesn't I was sort of matching the Canadian.
The delivery
And
of her.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I just went, "Vroom," and I had to go in deep and I changed it and brought back sort of the character that I had been creating and playing
Yeah.
in all those years previous. And I had to really work hard. And I think there's some places where
Yeah.
they've stretched stuff out so it goes whoop. But it was a matter of technical, but also to bring that character back. And I remember thinking, because so many times you drive home just like, or just, oh, and you have that, oh, I should have. But that one I drove back and I went, oh, I kind of understand what I do because there was something that was wrong. And then a thing that I created, I put back in. And
Yeah.
it was a time that I could see and hear the difference. And I could sort of see and hear what I do,
Mm.
which I think after a while you kind of take it for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you start to just think like, oh, this
Yeah,
is just a thing, you don't
yeah,
think anything
yeah.
of it. Um, what do you recall getting the audition? And I have to assume it was obviously all hidden as to what it was. Did you have any sensation or any clue as to what it may be for when you got the audition?
Gosh, I don't remember. I don't
It's okay.
remember. But I do know I played it's just gonna sound like I'm a right old rooty tooty today, but I do remember for Skyrim, I play a character called Carlia
Hmm.
in that. And I absolutely remember getting the audition for that and what the specs were. And I went, all right, okay. And laying it down. And then I went, will you play that back for me? I don't often do that. And John in the booth played it back for me. And I went, yeah, that's it. If I don't get that, then something's gone wrong with the world.
Oh, that's
And
brilliant.
and and so sometimes you get, I mean, so many things we don't get. When I used to print out
Yeah.
my auditions, and I don't anymore, tree lovers, but I would just the stack of paper would just become insanely high, and you'd go, yeah, there's probably 800 sheets of paper there, and I got three of them. Do you know what I mean? There was
Yeah.
this tangible thing
Yeah,
of
now it's a
showing you the
file on my
odds.
computer. I just save all these
Yeah,
auditions and I go back through and I'm
yeah,
like, which file was it that I got? That one. There it
yeah.
is.
Out of the as they go. So it's very humbling. So every so often when you just when it sort of matches what happened in your brain, it is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So of course I played Hogwarts Legacy, loved it. A couple of my friends were in it actually. My other friend Georgia Dolans, who I didn't realize was in it until I heard her as one of the students and I
Oh,
recognized her voice
okay. Yeah,
immediately
yeah,
and I was like,
yeah.
Georgia, what are you doing here? However, I did know that you were Professor Garlick. But when you were doing that voice, what did you create a voice? Did you just tap into someone that you knew, or was it just out of nothing? Or did you have a teacher that you
Um,
based it on, or something? Or
no, for that it was just they said we just want her to sound kind. She's
Hmm,
kind
yeah,
and and she's there is a genuine love there. So I guess I went to the nice part of myself that is
In there somewhere.
dug around deep in my
I'm
in my
gonna find
black
this.
heart. I did that. I think I find normally for video games, they are pretty specific when they write down what they're looking for. So
Yeah.
that I am just trying to match it. More for audiobooks, do I tap into people I know or traits or things that I find
Ah.
humorous. I'm not a mimic, but I will use that more there.
Have
Yeah.
you ever done voice match? Jumping on
A
you saying you're not a
couple.
mimic.
I'm not a mimic. I did for Thor Ragnarok. I went in and did
Ah,
a whole
okay.
bunch of scratch for
Yeah.
that. So Taika Waititi sat next to me and
Oh,
wrote things and then passed them to me, and then I said them. It was great. It was a lovely summer.
oh, wonderful.
That
There you
was a
go.
lovely, that was a
That's
lovely summer.
fabulous.
Um, but normally no. And the people I can do, people don't need voice matches for them.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
I see right? I think I skimmed it on IMDb. Was there Kate Winslet did the voice?
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, to be honest, I think I just sounded English and that was enough for them.
Yeah, I've definitely had those roles as well, where it's like I
Yeah.
was I was a
Oh my
voice
God, you sound like,
heavy air quotes. I was a voice match for Alfie Allen, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that it was just my voice, and it's like
yeah,
there's nothing very, not to say he's not like distinctive or unique or anything, but there's,
yeah,
you wouldn't be like, do an Alfie Allen impression. You'd be like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's a similar kind of thing. It's a similar kind of quirk.
yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going to jump on really quickly because you skimmed over at the audiobook work. And we can't gloss over the fact that for those of you watching, listening, Moira Quirk has won 4 Audie Awards, everyone.
Thank
4 Audie
you.
Awards. For those of you who are unaware, an Audie is or an Audie is a an
Yeah, I
award. One
haven't
one
heard an
is
Audi.
given for outstanding work in audio. Do you care to share what they were for, or do you remember?
I don't remember. Is that wrong? I don't remember.
No,
But I
it's okay.
am,
The internet only said they're like the Oscars of the audio work, so no big deal.
um,
No big deal.
yeah, and I've never actually been either. They're so funny. There is this whole Audi award, and but they never tell you. They never tell you that you're nominated.
Really? You just found out one
Yeah,
day. They were like, you won this, by the way.
yeah, I think so. I had to tell Jane Carr one time we were at a function together, and I said, "Jane, you won an Audi," and she went, "A what?" And
An
yeah,
Audi? You
lovely.
want an Audi? A
Yeah,
what? You what?
you are. Yeah, so I had to let her know, and that's how it all goes. I do generally find out now because of social media
Yeah.
that they'll announce them, and I go, oh look, because I've had some nominations in the last couple of years,
Oh,
um,
congratulations.
and I went, oh well, that's nice. That is a nice thing. I like that.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah.
How
So.
funny you just find
I
out on
probably
social media.
remember the nominations more than I remember. Yeah, I don't know. Um, yeah, I think I remember like when I first started doing. I think there was a book and I didn't actually put my name on it, and that got an Audie nomination. I went, oh, well,
And you were like, no. What's
yeah.
some of your most recent work? That if someone wanted to go on Audible and listen to you, and you'd be like, oh, go listen to this.
I'll tell you which ones seem to be quite popular. I do a series called The Locked Tomb series.
Yes, I think I have heard of this. I am terrible. I don't listen to
Yes.
many audiobooks myself, but my wife devours them.
Oh,
That is
okay.
one of, and I'm on TikTok a lot and TikTok
Yeah.
book talk. That's what it's called. Yeah,
Book Talk.
I'm on book talk
Yes.
a lot, and they yes, I have heard of this.
Yes.
So you're the
So
narrator for that.
yes, I did a series of steampunk by that's Tamsin Muir who does that. In fact, they just it was just picked as a book by the New Yorker as a book to take on your road trip. Yes, a
Oh, well, there
road
you go.
trip.
Yes.
Yes,
Well, definitely more so as an audiobook on a road trip. I wouldn't
yeah,
recommend driving and reading. That is ill-advised.
yes. Although I've had a few taxi drivers who do in England. Um, they have like the whatever it is, the Daily Express open on their lap as they drive to the airport, and I went,
No,
well,
you're
well,
kidding.
yeah. What's that all
What?
about?
Oh my
It's a
God.
bold move. I've done this. I know this road. I just go forward. If I keep going forward enough, there'll be an airport.
One of those roles that I said we were, or one of the projects rather that we were both in, I had no idea because for some reason, it's quite annoying. It still doesn't show up on my IMDb. And I think that's because I'm in the DLC. So I'm in the DLC for Remnant 2.
Oh, okay.
You're in Remnant 2, but I think you're like in the main thing of Remnant 2. And then they
Yes.
released this DLC called The One True King, and I'm in that.
Okay.
And for some reason that never got put on IMDb. So it just looks like I have no credit with that. Um,
There's IMDb. I have a bit of a beef with them as well. I've been dead. I was dead on Wikipedia.
what?
I've been married to my husband is Michael Rayner,
Yeah.
but they had me married to, and this was probably my like when I was about 31, they had me married to a Michael Rayner who was an octogenarian opera star. So, I mean,
All
they
right.
just had all sorts of nonsense in there. So,
Yeah,
don't necessarily
we had Anna
I'm gonna
Brisbane
claim
on,
it.
and they had her as the aunt. Her aunt was
Mm.
Grey Delisle, and that was just because she said it as a joke once, and people have run with it as fact. So
Yeah.
okay, so this is one of the bigger ones though. They had you as dead? Like
Wikipedia had
Wikipedia?
me
How did
as
that
dead
happen? I mean, I
because
know anyone can edit, but
people can go in. I should write myself the biography of biographies, but I guess it was at a time when you could just get in there and just write stuff. Yeah.
oh, all right. Did you have to sit back for a moment and think, am I? Is this like the sixth sense?
It was very metaphysical. Yeah.
Yeah. Although they did get Michael Rayner right this time. I did notice that. Yes, comedian and juggler, it said. I don't know how much.
Yes, he's kind
Yes.
of like he's more of a sort of performance artist. He juggles, his juggling is not so much balls and pins as like found objects.
It's
You can find
tasks.
him. He does TikTokery and
Ah,
he is broken juggler. So
broken juggler on TikTok. There we go.
yes,
Perfect.
yes,
Oh,
and
well,
yes.
if this ends up being one of the TikTok clips, we shall tag him in it as well.
Yeah, find him there. He has set up in front of our garage his TikTok studios, and
In front of his what?
yeah,
Sorry.
in front of our garage. Did you want that? Did you want
So,
garage?
is it garage, garage, or garage?
It
Like, what do
depends.
you?
I think if you're reading Sir John Betjeman poetry, then it's garage. If you're
Yeah,
on EastEnders, it's garage.
garage.
And
Yeah.
If you're in America, it's garage.
Yeah, I got so confused because I'm from Essex, so a
Yeah.
lot of time it was garage to with all my friends and everything. But my parents, I think, said, "What did they say?" Now I can't even remember. It was garage.
Garage.
Garage. I think it was garage. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they were slightly. I don't know, whatever you want to classify it. But then I went to University of
They
Winchester,
bred some
and
things.
it was
Yeah.
very garage. It was very
Yeah.
garage. See, now I'm all over the
Garage,
place, and
probably.
now my wife is American, and she's garage. So I
Garage.
just am confused. I'm a
Yeah.
confused human who never knows how to pronounce anything, and I'll say like privacy, and I'll have other Brits go, oh, it's
Yes.
privacy. And we're
It's
like, I
privacy
don't
because they
know.
love correcting you. They love correcting an
Oh my
Americanism.
gosh. My wife, Naomi, so she's just made
Yeah.
an Instagram reel to be like funny or whatever,
Yeah.
because she just loves being funny. And she was documenting her life now living in England. And she comes out of a Costa Coffee and she has me film it. And she goes, I live in England now. Starbucks, we don't have that here. We have Costa Coffee. And she just sips it, drinks it, and walks off. That
Yeah.
was the whole thing. And I'm filming it and just go, that was really funny. Great. Yep. Here you go. Done.
Yeah.
Thinking like, amazing. Like, what a funny thing to do. When I tell you, it was basically rage bait for a bunch of Brits who,
Yeah.
though we like uphold ourselves as like, we know comedy, we have so, well, our sense of humor is superior. So many of them, the joke was like over their
Oh
heads.
my God.
So it's not Costa, it's Costa. How dare you mispronounce that? Blah blah blah. And I was just like, and then I went through all the comments of being like, what are you talking about? We do have Starbucks. There's one right near my house.
Oh my
Ev- I
goodness.
commented on every single one, being like, no idea what you're talking about. I'm English, never seen a Starbucks in my life. like, just like,
Yeah.
nope, done it. And
Go
they'd be like,
back.
do you not
Go
get
back to
out? And
your,
yeah,
yeah.
the people were telling her to leave
Go
the
drink your
country.
mocha.
People were telling her to leave the country. They were body shaming her. It was just everything. And I was just like, what is wrong with people?
Yeah.
Oh my
Do you know
God.
what? There's quite a few angry people out there with
Yeah,
access to a phone. So one
there
or the
really
other
are.
is fine, but the combination of phone plus anger, that's what we need to address.
Really is. What was your stance with, because you are mother of teenage teenage and now I'm guess 20 something
In
daughters.
their 20s, yeah, 23,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was your
What
and
was
your
my stance
husband's
on what?
stance on cell phones and social media? I'm curious, just out of
Well,
fellow
my
parent.
my elder daughter not terribly interested in it, surprisingly,
Oh,
for all of the articles about it. Ours was this. Once they went to middle school, which is 12 years old,
yeah.
and we needed to pick them up from school,
Right.
they got a phone.
Yeah.
They got a phone, and we said, we expect you to be responsible with this. And they were. I mean,
Wow.
my
That's
younger daughter just used it to make, they used them to make films. She's making films now. So we had no problems.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
you really lucked out there, didn't you? It's just
Yeah.
yeah, just I mean, but I think as well, like you instilled them with like we trust you, and so I guess they like they took
Yeah.
that. It weren't like just
Yeah.
like ha suckers, it wasn't like well, mum and dad
Yeah.
trust me, so I don't want to like yeah,
And
that's great,
they
that's
know they're
great.
loved. They don't need to be dressing down other people on
Yeah,
it. They're not.
have you heard that thing that says strict parents create sneaky children?
I can't put it on this podcast, but I will say our experience is that. And I will discuss further once we've
Yeah,
because
of course. Yeah,
it
absolutely.
would not be kind to discuss it here, but
No,
oh
of course. Yeah, yeah.
yes.
As a Gen Xer, you're probably very familiar.
Yeah,
Um,
we all brought ourselves up,
right,
basically.
yeah.
I was just alone in the house with like booze and knives and whatever TV I wanted to watch.
Just another
Um,
Tuesday.
and
That's just
and
life in Rutland, to be honest. That's
Rutland is on the edge. What are you going to
sure
do
is.
today? Gonna walk up Bluebell Hill. Then what? Gonna walk back down. Aces.
Obviously, you're the majority of your voiceover work, as is the majority of my voiceover work, is playing on the British accent. And also, kudos to you for not even having the not losing your British accent even so slightly, even though you've lived in America for goodness knows how long, and however many
Yeah.
years. Um, however, do you book stuff where you have to do an American voice, an
Oh
American
yeah.
accent?
I've done whole books where I'm American
Whole
and I do
books.
I do a
Oh,
fair
that's great.
amount of TV and film looping, so I'll be there for the American stuff and the
Oh,
English
that's
stuff
brilliant.
too. Yeah.
That's so good to have that versatility and just be able to switch it
Yes.
like
So
that.
that's always been there. And but you have to fight very hard, I found to begin with. Like
Also,
where it all sort of changed. Because now everybody complains about the number of English actors
right,
playing
playing
Americans.
Americans, yeah, Doctor Strange
And
and
I think
Spider-Man.
if you're English, you're just like, what? They're just doing an accent.
Yeah,
Because we're so used to like, well, this character is from Milton Keynes, this character is from Liverpool, this character's
right.
from Bristol.
Hearing a
And
myriad
so
of accents.
so
Yeah,
you would do that.
yeah,
And so to say, okay, well, now you have to be from South Carolina or from Northern California, you would just go, oh, okay, then. And you would do that.
yeah,
It is the same.
yeah.
So,
Just
and the
part of the
only thing is,
character.
are you believable? Do people believe you in the part?
Yeah. When
Are you being
you
truthful?
when you audition for an American role and it says slate, do you slate with the accent?
Uh, God, I
'Cause you got
had
two R's
such
in your name as well, so that wouldn't be Moira Quirk. It would be Moira
Moira
Quirk.
Quirk. Um, I will tell you, because I've been doing this since the 90s. And so
Yeah.
I've been doing this since before when people, and I got told by an agent, he goes, no, I'm never going to take you because you're English and most of my parts are going to be Americans. Listen to Mark Addy. It was when Mark Addy had a sitcom and he had a terrible American accent. And
Yeah.
it was just like, so Mark Addy is the reason that you won't take me seriously?
Yeah.
Well, then maybe it's fortunate that you are not my agent because you seem a
Right.
fool. You see, there are things that seem like a punch in the nose, but are actually a present. That was one
Hmm.
of them. I had been going in and I did do the whole thing. I did when I would go in person and I would just be American. And I
Yeah.
felt like such a fraud. It made me very nervous. And but one time I had to go into a casting house and they'd seen me a lot of times. They liked me and they said, "No, we're not going to see her. We need actual Brits." And my agent had to say, "Well, she is British." And
Yeah.
they went, "No, she's not." And I walked in and they kind of sat there and looked at me like this.
Wow.
Okay, so you're British now. And they were it was everything that I had feared. They were so
Yeah.
mad at me because it was still at that
What?
time where I'd committed fraud
Oh
somehow.
my
It was so weird.
gosh.
They kind of, I think they felt embarrassed that I'd
Yeah.
fooled them or
I was gonna
something.
say, yeah, they were like, oh, we don't want to admit that we're the ones who had the wool pulled over our eyes, so
And
we'll
it's
just
just, you wanted me to be a certain role. I played that role. I obviously played it well enough.
right.
And now you're mad at me about it. So you're going to be absolute jerks. And I never went into that casting house again.
Let's try a thing. I don't know how exactly like it different it will be between you and I, but if you do a line as Professor Garlick, if you can, if do you have a line that you remember as Professor Garlick, and I'll see if I can match it. And I know you said you're not a mimic, but I'll give you a line of one of my characters, and we'll see if
Oh, all
you can
right
do
then.
that one. So yeah, so I'll do Professor Garlick, and then I'll
Feed,
figure out who I'm
feed
going
me
to
a
do.
line.
It's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one that ever doubted they would.
It's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they would.
Oh, fuck. Can you do? Sorry, I'm so used to doing villains and
Okay.
mean people. I'm like, how do I be nice? Teach me how to
Yeah.
be nice, Moira. Do it
Okay.
again.
It is weird. There's so many people who are just like, you're so used to being
Yeah.
in fight mode or
No, I am, because all
just
the people I play,
aggressive
like,
or.
oh, I know the character I'll give you. All right, no, I know now.
Okay.
The most
Okay.
juxtaposed person I
Okay.
can think of. All right, go on, do yours again, and I'll try and match it.
It's a joy to see anybody blossom, but particularly one who doubted they would.
It's
Yeah.
a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one that ever doubted they would. It's almost like a
There you go,
romantic
gentle.
leading. Yes, there we go. Yes,
Yeah.
it's basically
Oh my
whenever I'm doing a
goodness.
book and it's the romantic lead. It's the female gaze, like
Hmm.
the male gaze is like, oh, hello, darling, that kind of thing, and then the female gaze is actually, I'm a lovely person and I'm here to take care of you.
Yes.
Yeah, sort of like that.
Yes.
So
I'm
there's a
kind
character
and
I did.
thoughtful.
The character I did in Starfield was an NPC, a nameless NPC, and I'm trying to think of one of his lines now. A civilian can afford a Deimos ship? Unlikely.
A civilian can afford a demo ship. Unlikely.
You know what I had to do? I had to figure out how to do that gravelly sound without
Gravelly.
absolutely destroying my voice. Because when I
Yeah.
auditioned, it was way down in the throat. So it was like that, right? And I had to figure out how to have it come out my nose instead, but still have it gravelly, so I could yell and talk like that and be like, "All right, sunshine." Whereas,
Yeah.
so it still wouldn't. Have you ever done the real like East Londoner type thing where you're
Yeah,
like,
I was actually in Hogwarts Legacy.
"Oh, you were another"? Were you?
I was a dark witch. I was a fair few characters in that.
Ah,
I was a Scottish lady who liked to collect feathers, and I was a well that was really not happy about having stuff thrown down it. And
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've like maybe fought a couple of the dark wizards that
yeah,
you were. You
yeah,
coming
yeah, and
round
I've
here?
definitely. What are
Yeah,
you doing here?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
what's
yeah.
that all about?
That's
And
100%. I've gone Accio and then boom. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, you and she was really thick. I made her really thick. She was thick and nasty.
Yeah.
She had two characteristics, thick and nasty. I'm trying to think, mostly though, when the lady who was the original Exo Stranger in Destiny 2, I think she went off to be in, oh God, the zombie one, Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Yeah.
I think she's in that. And she had a very transatlantic accent because I think she was English but had lived here a long time from a young
Yeah.
age. So she had a very transatlantic accent. And they did try, I was kind of like, no, it's going to be English. Um, and then I think one for one version of the game, they were kind of pushing me to Americanize it a bit more. And I think we might have overcorrected. I definitely think we overcorrected there. That was a difficult one to sort of because I'd sort of made it my own to begin with, and then for
Yeah.
further versions of the game, they were like, "Yeah, not so English, not so English." Do
Not
you
so.
ever get things? This happens more in books, but sometimes it happens in character breakdowns, and they say they're a cross between Isle of Skye and the Queen's English, and you're just like, they're a cross between French and Liverpudlian. They're a
What
cross
the?
between Manchester and Bristol. They're a cross between Dorset and
No,
Newcastle.
nothing quite that specific,
I
but
mean,
good
just
grief.
things I sometimes and I just go, you don't know.
No, you don't know what you want.
That's nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. What I would do is I would geographically triangulate. I would like be like, all right, that place and that place. What's the middle? Birmingham. Okay, we'll do
Yeah.
Birmingham. They're like,
Yeah. And I think they I've been called in to do accent work with an actor, and they said, yeah, he's having a really, really hard time with his Birmingham accent. And so I walk in, and they're doing South London, and it's not like they're doing a bad South London,
oh
but
no.
the
But he's in
person
proper South
thinks,
London, yeah, and he's supposed to be Birmingham.
and he's from Birmingham, but it wasn't him. I think that was how he established his character. It's just the person explained it to me completely wrong. And I get
Oh,
audiobooks like that. Like, yeah,
that's
like
really
I've
funny.
I've turned up though for yes, it's a very proper English woman. And they're not. They're Irish.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And you just go, they're Irish, or you go, oh well they're
I
Canadian.
I literally just had an audition today that I was recording, and it said it pitched it as another like nature documentary, right? which I do all the time. I always get these fake nature documentaries because they usually want the David Attenborough sounding. Oh,
Yeah,
here
yeah,
we
yeah.
see the wild, blah, blah, blah. And it's always the same. But this time it actually specifically said, not David Attenborough. We don't want a David Attenborough sound like. And I was like, hey, there we go. Brilliant.
Mhm.
But then it went on to thoroughly confuse everyone because it was like, nothing too posh, nothing too stuffy, but maybe Matt Berry. What? I was like, I was like, no, that's okay. So, so I was dying laughing, and then like it
Yeah.
said, I was like, so we don't know what we want, because Matt Berry's whole thing, whole shtick is that he's overly posh, and he's doing this. I was just like, oh
It's
well,
he is such an absolute he totally got me through COVID. I would watch Toast of London and I would just go, okay, I've got some endorphins. I've got some endorphins now. And my husband would like, do you want to watch another one? And I would be, no, we have to make these last, Michael. There's only three British-sized series. We have to make them last. And I would turn to my husband and I would just go, whenever Clem Fandango would be there. And I said, I've met Clem Fandango. I mean, not in, but we've all worked. We've all worked with Clem Fandango, haven't we?
have we?
Oh
I,
God, haven't you? Then
I,
you're a lucky man.
I don't know. I unfortunately have to study a bit more up on who Clem Fandango is.
Oh, I'm
Um,
sorry. Then you have this to look forward to.
I do.
You have the whole of Toast of London to look forward to.
Yes, I think
Then I
Matt
won't.
Matt Berry's whole thing and his whole persona now started out as a joke. He's
Yeah,
riffing on RADA types, I think. And my wife sent me a video footage of him as a teenager presenting something. And he's a right Londoner. He's talking
yeah.
like this, and he talks like that kind of thing. So I was like, who even is Matt Berry at this point? Does he even know? Because
No,
I don't.
it's so beautiful. Well, the same thing. Are you familiar with Terry Thomas, actor?
No, Terry
He's
Thomas.
Terry Thomas. He's like old school Ealing comedies, British comedian, gap-toothed, and he always played absolute cads.
Oh
Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes.
Those
Didn't know him by
magnificent
name, but
men.
definitely by face and
Yeah,
by yeah. Mm-hmm.
magnificent men in their flying machines.
Yes.
And and he's also Richard Briers' uncle. So it
No
all makes
way.
sense.
Oh, that
So
does make sense. He looks a bit like him as well. Yes, yeah.
but I think he was not from he was definitely from the wrong side of the tracks, and he just decided that he was going to live his life as a PG Woodhouse character,
That's
basically.
so funny.
Isn't it? And then
I said it's mental. It's almost like you feel like you know who someone is, and then it turns out that
yeah,
that was completely
I mean that's like CIA MI5 business.
yeah.
Like we both work in acting. I'm a terrible liar. And the idea, I'm so fascinated with espionage because I think it's taking what we do to this really sinister place.
Like
And it would be like,
talented Mr. Ripley.
what would it be like if you weren't allowed to stop? If you started a character and you weren't allowed to stop,
Yeah.
what a nightmare. And I think that's why
Oh,
I'm just so
really?
fascinated with espionage, and I can't stop reading Le Carré and stuff like that. I just find that fascinating.
That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah,
Well, I hopefully we talked to the actual Moira Quirk, and you weren't.
I
This is
believe so.
this
Well,
this.
here, I would have done so if it hadn't been for you meddling kids.
Oh, she's actually
Yeah.
American. Oh,
Oh my
it
goodness,
was
when I
not just
pull
by
off my
birth. You
mask.
grew up
Yeah.
there. You grew up
I'm
in.
actually from California.
Oh my God.
I found
No.
where I'm
What's your
supposed to
favorite? Just really
be.
quickly, because we do have to wrap up. But what's your favorite American voice to do?
You know how we always have this idea that Southern is just
Hmm.
always real slow. It's all like a Tennessee Williams
Yeah, yeah.
play. I like it when it's real quick. I like those
Like
lickety
the
split. Yeah,
squirrel in SpongeBob
yeah.
SquarePants. Yeah, Sally Squirrel.
Or yeah, just like yeah, put me in the pan. Put me in the pan.
Yeah, or
That kind of
I forget her name from
I find that
King
so
of the Hill. Yeah, I
Peggy.
can't out your vote.
Yeah, I find that enjoyable. I think there's lots. I mean, and okay, I think the best American voice, and it's one word, and it's oh God, Barry White, and just him saying baby.
Oh yeah, baby, baby.
I mean, if I met Barry White and he said baby, I would live on that for and and it can only be said. I would live on that for years. I would
Yeah.
wake up each day and go, yeah, it's all right. Barry White said baby to me.
Set it
I
as
like
your
that.
alarm. Set it as a, just
I
like,
think I like it. Uh, I think I like it being said by a woman as well. Oh, baby. I just think, yeah,
nice. Well,
maybe
there
I
we
need
go.
that.
On that note, we'll wrap up. But thank you so much, Moira Quirk, for joining us. And if
I'm
you
doing
did,
it again.
you're doing it again. There he is. The applause for those who are
You know, for
for the
podcast.
audibly impaired. Here is the
Yes,
sign language, so we know. Yes, if you're reading
yes.
the
My mime
subtitles,
show follows,
there we go.
and some
The
mumming.
podcast mime. Yes, the mime podcast show will follow. So now, if you did not know the actor behind the voice of Professor Garlick and many, many more, now you know. It is, of course, Moira Quirk.
Yeah.
Moira Quirk, thank you for joining us on Actor Behind the Voice.
Thank you. I'm getting a bit schwitzy now, so yes, it's a good time to stop.
All right, there we go. I shall stop recording. Where's my stop recording? Did I start recording? Oh, it's up there.